Labour rights. Labour ka travail. Labour ja travail. Avec Labour qui continue travail. To the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Mr. Ian Douglas, our dear friend from Portsmouth, who really reminds me of the great Rosie Douglas, someone, an individual who really cherished the Kalinago people. Our other friends, Mr. Raymond Blackmore from Maho, welcome to the Kalinago territory. Special thanks to the chair, friends, supporters, well-wishers, my fellow candidates, and people of the Salybia Constituency, and the members of the Dominica Labour Party who are present here with us tonight. Special good evening and welcome to Kalinago country. Before we continue, I want to make it clear that in the Dominica Labour Party, we respect our senior citizens. And recently we have heard of some act which happened right here in Bataca and Antrizal, where some individuals found it fit, after attending the United Workers' Party activity right here, to stone the house of two elderlies. We condemn it in the Dominica Labour Party. We will not stand for that. And if the person is found, we will ensure that they are brought to justice. Also, friends and supporters, I want you to be mindful, be vigilant, avoid confrontations as much as possible to ensure that we face the eve to cast our votes and ensure that we will be victorious on the evening. Standing here in your presence has always been a great joy, a great moment, and it's going to be the greatest moment in the Kalinago history and the people of Atkinson and Antrizal. It is going to be the most productive 5 years for the people of Atkinson, Antrizal, and the Kalinago territory. When we in the Dominica Labour Party show that we love our people, our citizens, our constituents, we really mean it. And we in the Dominica Labour Party, we are caring, loving, and genuine servants of Whitey Kubuli, Dominica. Under the anointed hands of the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, the Dominica Labour Party has remodeled the country's presence by redefining the role of managing its resources to adapt to a swift change taking place locally, regionally, and globally. Over the past 15 years, Whitey Kubuli, Dominica, has experienced the lightning speed of transformation that could only be possible under the Dominica Labour Party and the Honorable Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit. Under the innovative and compassionate leadership of Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and the energetic members of the Dominica Labour Party family, the Dominica Labour Party is aware that to survive in this local, regional, and global environment, any political entity must be flexible, responsive to the needs of the people, and most importantly, be people-oriented. And that's why we remain united and not divided like the United Workers' Party. This paradigm of the 21st century has led to a new systematic approach as to how government reintegrate processes, policies, and systems to reflect such evolution. This is why in the Dominica Labour Party, we believe that leadership is everything. And that's why our philosophy is based on all shall eat. When it comes to leadership, Double L, Lennox Linton, is no match when compared to Skerrit. We as a people as a united family. We cannot afford double L. Lennox Linton to put his fingers on the coffers of Dominica, because if he could use his party funding to travel the world enjoying pre-political election defeat syndrome, what will he not do if elected to office? Over the past 5 years, brothers and sisters, the UWP has done nothing tangible or visible than to go on the hot seat on Q95 to spill off involuntary verbal diarrhea. I hope that after the 8th of December, that my dear friend and teacher Claudia Sanford will not be suffering from verbal constipation and rejection syndrome, because for sure we will be victorious on the 8th of December. And Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, I want to assure you that with due respect and a form of gratitude, I will do whatever it takes to ensure that in the Salybia constituency, we remain with Labour. We will remain faithful to Labour. We have walked the path. We have cleaned the byways, and now we are on the highways, and we will walk it proudly. We have followed the step of Rosie Douglas. We have followed the step of Pierre Charles, and we are going to continue and walk with Brother Roosevelt Skerrit, my friend, my mentor, someone I see as a role model to every young and elderly grown-up adults in Dominica. Brothers and sisters, from the 8th we in the Salybia constituency will ensure that we stand with Labour. We have come to the realization that over the past 15 years, that Labour power is Kalinago power, and Kalinago power is Labour power. 15 years ago, the Dominica Labour Party has significantly enhanced the livelihood of the constituent in Salybia by helping to unchain us from the tentacles of poverty and racism. Today, the Dominica Labour Party, under the leadership of Roosevelt Skerrit, has instilled a high level of pride and dignity, not only to Salybia constituency, but to Dominica. And that's why we are going to remain faithful with Labour. We as a people need to let the United Workers' Party and Claudia Sanford know that we have moved on. We have moved on from the shackles of ignorance and racism to a fresh sunlit path of enlightenment, which is solid with Labour as we are determined to decide our own destiny. And this we will do by voting Labour and Casius Darroux on the 8th in the Salybia constituency. Under the Dominica Labour Party, with determination, we are sure to attain our destiny. We are not far from getting from the many programs that we have been implemented. Under the umbrella of the Dominica Labour Party, poverty and illiteracy has become a thing of the past in the Salybia constituency. No longer will poverty and illiteracy haunt and retard our development, our self-esteem, and self-actualization. From the 8th of December, brothers and sisters, a new dynamic leader will rise from the Salybia constituency to ensure that we enjoy and guarantee the full right of self-identification and determination. And we can only do it with Labour. I will ensure, as your leader, as your pal rep, as your friend and as your servant, ensure that the progress in the 21st century will transform ideologies. We will develop technological support, economic and political transformation that will allow us to renegotiate the terms of freedom, justice, and the very term cultural heritage to substantiate our very existence as a Kalinago people of Atkinson, Antrizal, and Salybia. With Labour, we in the Salybia Constituency is aware of the fact that the choices we make is fundamentally a social and political responsibility to be free and equal in our very land, Waiti Kubuli, the land that my forefathers defended. With Labour, the stings of colonialism and atrocities is healing. The agonizing itches of colonialism will be wiped out with Labour when we in the Dominica Labour Party construct the Kalinago Council, the Kalinago Council Center, to house the office of the chief and councils, as well as a conference room, a cultural center and post office, and most importantly, an office for your parliamentary representative. It is my intention that when elected as your PAL rep, you will be seeing me in the Kalinago territory almost every day a week. I will only travel to Roseau if there is a need. It is time, I believe, that we change the level of representation in the Kalinago territory. There will be an office for me, and you will be seeing me in the Kalinago territory. And for those of us who will not be able to walk or to get to the council, I will go to your homes to ensure that you are taken care of. I am not going to be a Claudia Sanford. I will never be. And in fact, he is not a real Sanford. He's a Franco Kalinago, pretending to be Kalinago. He's not. Under the Dominica Labour Party, I will continue to spread the entrepreneurial culture among the Kalinago people and the people of Atkinson and Antrizal. I will ensure that we have this establishment of a small business development fund for the people of Atkinson, Antrizal, and the Kalinago territory. I will ensure that we appoint an advisory group for the social and economic development and well-being of the constituency. Under the Dominica Labour Party, I will involve the constituency leaders in developing ecological, community, and heritage tourism products as part of a national effort to diversify the industry. I will support the construction of a three-star hotel in the Carib territory, which will serve the people of Atkinson and Antrizal in terms of development. I will further support the extension of overnight services at the Kalinago Barana Ote. We will expand our marketing strategies to ensure that we explore every potential and every avenue to ensure that we have economic capacity in the Salybia constituency to develop ourselves. I will seek with all my energies to position the Kalinago territory to enjoy the greatest slice of tourism business by enhancing the production and marketing of craft items. I will be making special requests to Cabinet to ensure that our craft weavers receive some form of allowance whenever we go off-season. I will also ensure that under my leadership, we have the establishment of an effective agricultural station within the constituency for our own plant propagation. We will intensify the specialized trade and communication with the French Department of Martinique and Guadeloupe and the first citizen territories of the region using at least one government-sponsored sea vessel. And these are the kind of developments that we are looking forward to. Not when Claudia Sanford can copy and paste everything that we have in our manifesto. Not when he goes around and copy and paste everything that we have in our leaflets. And while he criticizes us for having our little social events within different hamlets, criticizing me personally, saying that I am giving my Kalinago people alcohol to drink. But it is the bigger shame on him, because in the same leaflet, while he's condemning me, He's planning to have a rum production facility in the territory. What is his message? While he is complaining about alcoholism, I believe it's a problem, it's true. We will deal with it. But he's going to have an alcohol production plant here. What might make more sense to us, but not to me, maybe to his followers, is in his manifesto. He's planning to legalize marijuana, something we know which is illegal in our country. I believe that if we ever make that mistake to allow the United Workers' Party to get into power, we need to have a psychiatric unit in the Kalinago territory, because he's planning to destroy our youths. He is not trying to lift them up. He has been widely criticizing our NEP programs. While he's criticizing it, he is asking United Workers' Party supporters who are employed under the NEP to stay at home and don't go to work. What is his message? Anyway, under the Dominica Labour Party and me as your leader, we will develop a Kalinago language program and more relevant curriculum for our community schools. We will organize a major cultural extravaganza on or around July 4th annually to celebrate the establishment of the Kalinago territory. We will further establish an official Kalinago Day proposed for September 19th in memory of our fallen brothers, ancestors of the 1930 uprising. And may I remind you that if it wasn't for Rosie Douglas in June 1996, on the 6th, we would have another 1930 uprising, because that was the time, under the leadership of Edison James, that my brother was shot right there in Point. My mother wrote to Mr. James, and up to this present day, we have never received a response. As a leader, he never even passed by to sympathize. But yet you're sending your people asking for our votes. We the Kalinago people, we know better than that. And we have broken the chains of illiteracy. So they cannot come here and fool us anymore. Also, to further recognize our Kalinago people and the people of the constituency, we will erect a monument in recognition of the Kalinago people as the first people who came to Waitikubuli, who fought. Their blood was spilled on this island by protecting our very land. And today, it took the Dominica Labour Party to bring us to the path of enlightenment, where we can stand as a proud people. Most importantly, as a proud Kalinago people of Waitikubuli. We will be given urgent and serious consideration to designating the Kalinago territory a tax and duty-free zone, something that will transform the lives of the Kalinago people forever. We will be seeing the benefits. It will be impacting every household, every individual, every child. We will dialogue as time goes by for your input on this factor. I will also ensure and will continue to support all the social programs, especially the youth and our senior citizens. The Yes We Care program, I will further embrace it and expand it. The allowances given to our college students, I will be making requests, most likely to have a little bit more, to ensure that we have additional snacks at school. But instead, the opponent, they are criticizing for giving our college students $600 per term. Still yet, Claudia Sanford finds the best thing to do is to ask our college students for $20 from the $600. Instead, he should be dipping his hands in his pocket and stretch a $5 to them and ask them to use it to buy a snack. He have been saying that I'm engaged in bribery by trying to help my Kalinago people, the people of Atkinson and Antwizzle, to have a better roof over their head. They will go to Q95 to talk shit, but I will provide my Kalinago people and the people of Atkinson with sheets of galvanized to put over their head. Not what they're speaking of in Q95. Brothers and sisters, I have a genuine love for the senior citizens. And that's why I will seek to have a constituency senior citizen sanctuary so that they can be taken care of 24 hours. We need to bathe them, clothe them, comb their hair, cut their nails, take them to service, give them an outing, take them to the seaside to have a bath. And this we will do for our senior citizens. I will ensure that our constituents who are physically challenged be given special treatment and attention. And that's why I'm going to support and adopt the Crayfish River Special Needs School. We care for everyone. We care for you from the day of conception until birth, until the grave. We highly appreciate our unborn. We pray for them. And we will cherish them as long as we have life. I have no regrets. No regrets at all. And I remain resolute in my decision to side with the Dominica Labour Party, to represent my people. We have made great strides. Much more remains to be done to ensure that we continue to climb the social ladder. I am asking from you, my constituents, to vote for me on the 8th to continue to improve your quality of life. I don't know what kind of syndrome that the opposition is suffering from, but I believe they are suffering from selective sight syndrome, selective hearing syndrome. They also have sensing syndrome. They don't know what they're suffering from. One thing I'm sure of, that one of their leaders is suffering from smuggling crabback syndromes, and that's why we are going to refuse them. We are going on the 8th of December to bury Claudia Sanford, the deputy leader of the United Workers' Party. We are going to bury him in the cold ashes of political history. And after the 8th, brothers and sisters, on the night, we will be celebrating. And I'm extending my hands, my heart, to the supporters of the United Workers' Party to please come to celebrate with us. I'm also asking my brother and my teacher, Claudia Sanford, on the 8th of December to please join me in my celebration. Swallow your pride and come. I can also let him know that under the leadership of Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt and me being as your candidate, we will still give him a job. And when he speaks of discrimination, he must be suffering from another syndrome that I don't know of, because he's working at the Dominica State College. He haven't been fired for being on political platform. And so we will still give him a job. And we welcome him on the Dominica Labour Party team. Well, we are not a team, we are family. Sorry for my mistake. We welcome him to the Dominica Labour Party family. If you have realized, over the past few days we have been seeing strange faces. Very strange faces. I don't know where they're coming from, but I heard that there's one from Cottage. He is coming right to the Kalinago territory after living all his years outside. He is coming and telling the Kalinago people that if you're not a practicing Catholic, you will not be able to vote. What a shame. What kind of tactic is he trying to use? And that's why my brother from Marigot is so right, that as Catholic we need to reject them totally. But I have a message for him. I don't know him. I've never seen him other than yesterday. But if he's coming back to the Kalinago territory or to the Salybia constituency, we are asking him to come with some galvanized and some plywood. Because we need some to repair his immediate parents' home. And even if he doesn't bring it, I will ensure that his mom is taken care of. We will build her a home and ensure that she has a washroom facility. And if there is a need for him to come back and reunite with the people of the Salybia constituency, we are also saying to him, welcome home. Welcome home. The one who is suffering from the crying syndrome, we see her every day. She has now become a resident in the Salybia constituency. Tell her I also need to see her, because I need to extend my hand to her to tell her to come to enjoy with us on the 8th of December. On the 8th of December, we will be rejoicing. And we will be rejoicing happily, while they will be rejoicing in tears with bitter pains. And Honorable Prime Minister, I'm requesting of you to please send a special team here in the Kalinago territory, because on the 8th of December, people will be suffering from losing attack. They will be losing significantly. They will be suffering from heart attack. And we will be needing these services to take them to the hospital so that we can give them the needed treatment after our celebration. So, brothers and sisters, keep strong, keep warm, remain with Labour. Labour power is Kalinago power. And we can see it here tonight in your numbers. We doesn't need to mobilize people from Marigot. We don't need to mobilize people from La Plaine. We mobilize our own very people, the local and PM. You can see it here tonight in our numbers. And you can see that the Salybia seat is sure. It is certain. There's no doubt about it. Most importantly, on the 8th, please go to vote early. Make your early hours. Then go to do whatever you have to do. And ensure when it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you are back home to have some rest. Put your red shirt, put your red cap, put your red shoe. Everything that is red, wear it. And let's start to celebrate from 1. We don't have to wait until the polls are counted, because we are confident we will be victorious. Ensure that you hold your brother's hand. Ensure that we take the elderly to vote early. Ensure that our neighbors, that we take care of them. Give them a warm breakfast and take them to vote. Give them a nice lunch and ask them to wait so that we can celebrate. Don't allow Claudius to pass in our neighborhood, spreading the rumors that they are going to celebrate in Portsmouth or in Cabana. Don't allow them to take our people before they have voted. When they have voted, tell Claudius he's welcome to take us to celebrate. And brothers and sisters, I'm appealing to you, please be calm. Avoid confrontation. And like the great Kenny Rogers said, walk away from troubles if you can, but sometimes we really need to stand to be a man. So, Laborites, stand strong. Welcome. Thank you for listening to me. Have a good night, and let's welcome the rest of the speakers. I thank you. Labour! Thank you.
5 more years. 5 more years. It's 5